So you're currently considering selling your home and you just don't know whether you should do it now or you should wait. We want to talk about that today. In the market that I'm in Calgary, the values have really increased quite quickly in the last number of months. And in our last video we shot, we talked about how every hour over the last 12 months, a detached home was making just over $10 per hour, which is insane. And so for Calgary anyways, for where we are, I want to run through just a couple scenarios to help maybe give some clarity on what you should be doing. Because honestly, it comes down to it being a personal decision and your personal situation. Just because you have a property and it's gone up in value doesn't mean you should just sell it right away. And the thing here is you can only ever time the bottom or the top by looking backwards, right? That's the only way you ever know that it was the top or it was the bottom. You can never time it perfectly. You'll never know unless you're looking backwards. So in Calgary where we are, the market is increasing, things are happening, and the market is hot. There's a lot of talk about pricing. There's a lot of talk about multiple offers. There's a lot of things that are happening in our market. So let's jump in. So why would you do it now? That's what we're going to talk about first, all right? And there are two main factors that I want to talk about. The first one is if you have a rental property. Okay, so if you have a rental property and your lease is in a good situation where you could sell it, this could be a good time. You could probably pull the trigger whenever you chose. I know, and again, you only can time the market properly looking backwards, and I am looking backwards and going, oops, we sold our rental property. We had a fourplex. We sold that rental property last spring. Yeah, well, maybe not the best decision if we were trying to get the most out of it, but it was the right time. We needed to do it. It was the right thing to do at the time. And I don't kick myself at all because it was the right thing at that time. And so if you have a rental, this is a fantastic time to have that home put on the market to get more than what you've probably in a long time been able to say that it was worth. So that's the number one. Number two is if you have a place to go. So what I mean by that, a lot of times when you're making these transitions and you've got a place that you're going to buy, you're going to sell, if you have your family or if just you as a couple or you as a single, and we've actually had a lot of people call us up who've singles, right? Single guys that bought something maybe a year or 2 or 3 ago, and they're looking at it going, well, maybe I'll just cash in and move back home with mom. And that's what I mean. If you have a place to go that you don't have to require, buying that second place, well, you're kind of not tied to anything. Pull the money, sell the property, see what happens, and kind of go from there, right? So those are probably two very simple situations when it could be a good time to do it now. However, when should you wait? Should you do it now or should you wait till the spring? And again, it depends on your situation. But here are the two things that I want to talk about. The one is well, it's the opposite of the last one. You don't have a place to go. Right now in our market, we are seeing it is just a crazy market. I had one client. Here's a story. I had someone on the phone ask me, can we put a sale of a condition of our home on an offer to purchase on a next one? And yeah, no seller is going to take that because how the condition is written anyways in Alberta here is if you do that, another offer can come in and kick you out essentially. So there's going to be another offer that's going to come in. There could have been, especially if you're trying to compete, you're not going to have that. So you don't have that security of a condition of selling your property in order to buy another one. So if you need another place to move to, you might have to wait. And you might actually need to be looking to buy a home first instead of just thinking of selling your property, okay? Now, here's the silver lining of that, is you have a home currently and it is increasing in value, but the other ones that you're buying are also increasing in value. So you kind of have this situation. So if you're moving from here to here, the values are going up, right? And again, this is not perfect. It's a little bit disproportional of that, but you get what I mean. So that is a good thing. And if you have a place to go, you might need to wait. I wouldn't say just put your home on first. Wait or try to get a longer possession date on it, and then find something before, because that is stressful. Very, very stressful. All right. The second one is if you like to gamble. So what I mean by that is maybe you have like this situation, you have a rental, right? You got a rental and you are okay with gambling. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to see if prices go higher. I'm just going to see what happens. I personally, looking at this market, having nearly 2 decades of real estating under my belt, this has not happened before. This type of market that Calgary is seeing, and now it's starting to see it in Edmonton and other cities. We haven't seen something like this. And it really is, it's a transfer of money is what I'm calling it, right? It's a transfer of money from the other major cities coming to Calgary and Alberta and in parts of Edmonton too. And so it's really, really interesting to see this happening. And so if you want to just kind of hold out, see what happens. Now, what could happen with that if you're gambling? You could have more inventory coming on the market at the same time, because spring markets usually just generate more listings, right? So you could end up having more inventory coming on the market, which means more competition, but that's not a bad thing. Is the demand going to decrease or eat up that inventory fast enough so that you aren't able to, like, you're not going to be able to get the most that you can? I don't think so. There's a lot of people that we talk to who are moving here, who are making plans in buying and selling, and they still are thinking, you know what, I'm going to do it in May, June. I don't know why that is, but a lot of people do that. June is typically June 30th actually is typically the busiest day in real estate. Like the most amount of transactions that we've been told from lawyers over the years, that is like the busiest day they have in real estate is the end of June. And so, so there are some things that you kind of are risking when you're looking at that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your personal situation. And you have to be able to know what to do. So in the description, if you want to have a conversation with us, about putting a plan together, strategizing, when is a good time for you to make that move? When should you sell your house? We have a link to a calendar where you can book a call. We just do these, first off, 15-minute intro calls where we can chat with you, kind of get a feel for what you're looking for, get a feel for us. Are we the right fit for you in selling your home here in the city? And let's just chat. But this is really what it comes down to. Should you wait or should you sell your home now? It comes down to your situations, and hopefully there's some food for thought here. But we'll see you guys on the next video.